What if I told you that the affordable furniture you love might be hiding a dark secret? IKEA, the Swedish giant known for its sleek designs and low prices, has a spotless image in the eyes of many. But behind the clean lines and minimalist aesthetic lies a story of exploitation, human rights abuses, and a supply chain riddled with unethical practices. Stay with us as we uncover the IKEA scandal you didn't know about, and it's one that might change the way you think about your next purchase. IKEA is synonymous with affordability and convenience. Since its founding in 1943, the company has revolutionized the way we shop for furniture. From their flat-pack designs to their sprawling blue and yellow stores, IKEA has made it possible for millions of people worldwide to furnish their homes without breaking the bank. But behind the glossy catalogs and well-orchestrated marketing campaigns lies a murkier reality. Over the past few decades, multiple reports have emerged exposing severe human rights abuses within IKEA's supply chain. From child labor in cotton fields to unsafe working conditions in factories, the allegations are as widespread as they are shocking. So, how did one of the world's most beloved brands become entangled in such controversy? And what has IKEA done, or failed to do, to address these issues? To understand the scale of the problem, we need to dive into IKEA's supply chain. IKEA sources its raw materials and products from over 50 countries. This vast network includes everything from cotton farms in India to timber suppliers in Eastern Europe and manufacturing plants in Asia. In theory, IKEA's global reach should come with a global responsibility. The company has publicly committed to sustainable and ethical sourcing practices. But as the old saying goes, the devil is in the details. One of the most alarming revelations came in the early 2000s when investigations by NGOs and journalists uncovered that IKEA was sourcing cotton from Uzbekistan, a country notorious for its use of child labor. Despite international condemnation, thousands of children were forced to work long hours in the fields, picking cotton under harsh conditions. And while IKEA eventually phased out cotton from Uzbekistan, the scandal raised serious questions about how the company monitors its supply chain. But the issues don't end there. IKEA's supply chain issues extend beyond raw materials. In 2012, a series of undercover investigations revealed the appalling conditions faced by workers in some of IKEA's supplier factories. These factories, located primarily in Asia, were found to have unsafe working conditions, with workers enduring long hours for meager pay. In one particularly shocking case, a factory in Bangladesh was found to be operating under sweatshop-like conditions. Workers were forced to work 14-hour shifts with little to no breaks, and those who spoke out faced intimidation and even violence. The factory supplied goods directly to IKEA, raising serious concerns about the company's oversight and commitment to ethical labor practices. Even more troubling, many of these workers are young women who are particularly vulnerable to exploitation. With few opportunities available, they are often forced into these jobs out of sheer necessity, despite the terrible conditions. IKEA has repeatedly claimed that it conducts regular audits of its suppliers to ensure compliance with labor standards, but critics argue that these audits are often superficial and fail to capture the true extent of the abuses taking place. The problems with IKEA's supply chain don't stop at labor violations. The company's environmental impact has also come under scrutiny. While IKEA proudly touts its commitment to sustainability, evidence suggests that its practices are far from green. For example, IKEA is one of the largest consumers of wood in the world. While the company claims that 98% of its wood comes from sustainable sources, investigations have shown that IKEA has been linked to illegal logging operations, particularly in Eastern Europe. These operations not only devastate local ecosystems but also often involve the exploitation of local communities who rely on the forests for their livelihoods. The company's use of toxic chemicals in its products has also raised concerns. While IKEA has made strides in reducing harmful substances, there have been instances where dangerous chemicals have been found in products, posing risks to both workers and consumers. All of this points to a larger issue. IKEA's commitment to sustainability and ethical practices often seems more like a marketing strategy than a genuine effort to do better. So, what has IKEA done in response to these allegations? In recent years, the company has rolled out a series of initiatives aimed at improving its supply chain practices. IKEA now requires its suppliers to comply with its I-Way Code of Conduct, which sets standards for fair wages, reasonable working hours, and safe working conditions. The company has also increased its use of sustainable materials and committed to being climate positive by 2030. But are these efforts enough? Critics argue that while IKEA's initiatives are a step in the right direction, they are often reactive rather than proactive. The company only seems to take significant action when faced with public backlash or damning reports. Moreover, there are concerns about the effectiveness of IKEA's enforcement mechanisms. With such a vast and complex supply chain, ensuring compliance is a monumental task, and there is evidence that many suppliers continue to flout the rules with little consequence. The IKEA scandal is not just about one company, it's a reflection of the broader challenges facing global labor standards. As consumers, we are often drawn to low prices without considering the hidden costs. The exploitation of workers, environmental degradation, and the erosion of human rights are all too often the price paid for cheap goods. But there is hope. Public pressure can and has forced companies like IKEA to make changes. As consumers become more informed about the origins of the products they buy, they can push for greater transparency and accountability from corporations. So, what can you do? Start by asking questions. Where do the products you buy come from? What are the conditions under which they are made? By supporting companies that prioritize ethical practices and boycotting those that don't, you can make a difference. The next time you walk through the endless aisles of an IKEA store, remember the stories behind the products. The workers in far-off factories, the children in the cotton fields, the forests being torn down, all in the name of affordability. But it doesn't have to be this way. IKEA, like any other company, has the power to change, and with your voice, you can help make that happen. If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more in-depth investigations and stories that matter. Share this video, leave a comment with your thoughts, and let's start a conversation about the true cost of our convenience. Together, we can make a difference.